Ladies and gentlemen, boys and NBs, it is Season 5, and we have a new event for Camos and a whole lot of other rewards. And upon completing half of the event, I realized some of these are a little tricky, and I've found some extremely easy ways to get them done. Finishing the Shadow Company events in simply 2 games, I figured I should share what I'm doing to get my success. First, let's take a look at the events and see what we've got to do here. Starting on the Shadow Company side, as you can see, I've finished it. Getting your 50 op kills, you're gonna get that doing everything else. I suggest starting with your submachine gun kills from behind. I will show you the gun to use. The strat here is to just run through the center and then hook into wherever you think they're spawning, trying to get behind them. As for your launcher kills, carry that behind your submachine gun and just fire it whenever you feel you're in the right position to get those kills. You should be able to knock these out in a single game and start working on your sniper kills in that first game. When you're working on your sniper kills, you should just stand in one of the corners and wait, holding your breath with focus equipped. You will be able to get at minimum 5 out of the 15 in that first game if you get a good game of shipment. As for the lethal equipment kills, I used regular grenades. You can also use landmines. Landmines are extremely effective, and throwing knives also work. So any of these are absolutely usable and they will get the job done. I got very lucky. I threw a single grenade, got 4 kills, turned around, threw a throwing knife while I had on the sniper rifle, and got my 5th one. It was hilarious, and that knocked out all of these for me. Extremely easy. Like I said, 2 games and I was done. Now, I have not done the Task Force 141 side, but it looks to be the easier side, as you're going to be going after these melee weapon kills. Just when you see a guy off by himself, instead of doing a melee, do the finishing move. Execute him. Get it done. You need to do 4 of these in total if you include the execution with the melee. Super easy. I'll show you what to use there, what your best option is. As for your 40 ADS with an assault rifle, just chalk that up to the 50 op kills and it's really easy. And I will also show you 2 battle rifle options, one that is more DMR setup and one that is more of an assault rifle setup. So let's move over to our guns and see what we're doing there. Okay, so first I wanted to start with the sniper that I personally use to do this event. If you don't have this leveled, no problem. I will show you what to use instead. But this is the build that I use to get my sniper kills. I got them done in no time at all. I finished it in my second game and I was just standing around with nothing to do, so I switched off, started using an AR, just started cracking up extra kills because I want Shadow Company to win. As for the build and the tuning, we're going to use the XRK Kraken, and we're actually going to tune this for recoil stabilization and control so we can get that spam shot down perfect. You want to be able to be spamming shots as fast as you can in case you miss your first shot. This is a 1-shot kill to the chest or the head, but if you hit an arm, it's a 2-shot. If you hit in the gut, it's a 2-shot. Recoil control is a very good idea. I used the Forge Tac Delta or the Drexum Prime. I use the Drexum Prime, but I have the one from the one of the new bundles that has the red background and they show up as like a teal color. And it was a very good optic to use, but I would use the Forge Tac Delta if you don't have that special Drexum. Either one will be fine, but the tuning for that, as always, is ADS speed and far to move that visual recoil away. Then we're going to use the Lex V14 stock to get some more ADS speed, to be able to move a little faster. We're going to tune for ADS and aim stability because we do still need stability before we hold our breath to keep our gun straight. You'll notice there's no laser here, so people don't know you're holding the angle when they come around the corner. I doubled down with the Carrick Palm for ADS speed and aim idle stability. That way I'm getting maximum stability on this gun before I hold my breath again, so I can line my shots up, wait for them to come around the corner, hold my breath real quick, and crack the shots. It was extremely easy with the build, and I finished it off with a 10-round mag. That way I could actually spam an extra 4 shots as needed. At one point I did get a quad feed and it was absolutely hilarious. I love this gun for multiplayer. I love this gun for DMZ, but that's a whole different thing to talk about. I covered it in the video I dropped earlier today. You want to see it? Go ahead and watch it. I highly recommend running this gun in a group with 2 guys running a Victus, SPR, MCPR, any of the bolt actions. If you're the 3rd man, run this instead of another Victus. It is absolutely insane how good this gun is. As for your melee weapons, I use the Merc. The Merc is my Tonfa. The Tonfa is easily the best melee weapon in the game. You can use any of them, but this one's going to get it to the easiest. This one's going to make everything a lot easier in my opinion. However, Kodachis are good. The knife is good. Whatever's clever. And don't forget, you need that execution. So I would focus the execution, hitting the melees in between, you'll probably still finish the melees first. Keep in mind that execution does need to get done. Now for our SMG kills from behind, I'm going to give you 2 different guns to use here with very, very similar builds on them. This is a modification of my DMZ build for the BAS-P. I swapped the suppressor for the Lockshot KT85, which is the best muzzle that you can put on here if it's not a suppressor for this gun. It's going to give it the best control. Now in tuning, I tuned for ADS and stability just to get a little of that wiggle out and get it aimed down as fast as I can. I also went with the VLK laser, again, sprint to fire and ADS to get those shots off as fast as I can. This gun has incredible hip fire with the stockless setup, so you don't need anything else for that. You just need to get it leveled out and get your shots off. This brings it down to 70 milliseconds from tac sprint to get your shots off. It is beautiful. Again, stockless mod was thrown on, and so is the 50 drum, and we finish it out with a Bruin flash grip. This one we tuned for recoil steadiness and sprint to fire speed because we don't need a lot of aim stability, but we did need that little bit from earlier. This gun absolutely slaps for this challenge. I had no problems getting it done in half a game. Absolutely beautiful. I was carrying a launcher on my back. I got those done as well. If you're struggling with the BAS-P for some reason and you need a larger caliber round, have no fear. The ISO 45 is here. You'll notice this is almost identical build. However, we're using the Castle comp on this gun, and that is because the Castle comp has a better recoil control pattern for this gun's recoil pattern. Again, ADS and aim idle stability, we're gonna max those out to get the best we can for snappiness out of this gun. The VLK laser's back again with sprint to fire and ADS. We use the Cheetah stock to get the ADS, and we're gonna use aim walking speed just because we don't need the stability from it. So we're gonna stack the stats that are most beneficial to us. We threw the 45 round mag on it, and then we finished out with the EXP shear rear grip. And I did tune this one for recoil steadiness and for aim idle stability. Just because of this gun, there's a little bit more recoil and a little bit more sway. Can't go wrong with either one of these SMGs for this challenge. They're both very good. It's dealer's choice, whatever you're more comfortable with. I did want to stop just for a second to say that I ran frag grenades. I said earlier you can run the mines or even the throwing knives, but I would most definitely run the stun grenades, especially while you're trying to get that execution. Now moving into our assault rifle kills, we need 40 of these. I have had this gun set up on numerous different blueprints. However, I've moved it over to my newest one, and that is from the Doggo bundle. I've got the Chrononaught 44 on it because the M4 has a bit of horizontal recoil, and I want to minimize as much of that as possible. We did, however, tune this, again, ADS and aim idle stability because we're getting all the recoil control we need from the attachment itself, so we want to make it snappy. We added the 45 round mag because I want the extra rounds just in case I need them. I put the 11.5 inch TH4 barrel on, tuned for recoil steadiness and ADS speed. Again, I'm just trying to make the gun a little bit faster. I want to get the recoil steadiness that I can out of it. All in all, this is a very good barrel, and I do use this in DMZ in places like Building 21. I just haven't went over it yet. Once again, the FSS Ole V laser is the same as the VLK, so we're slapping that on with sprint to fire and ADS speed. And we're going with the rear grip, but it's called the Phantom grip on this gun, and it does twice as much as most of the ADS grips do on the other guns. And a tune for recoil steadiness and sprint to fire speed just to make this gun feel very good while staying as snappy as we can. However, if you do want an optic on your gun, there's a cheat code in the game, and that is a 13-inch Frenzy barrel on the Razorback. Again, we're going to start with the Chrononaught 44, and we're going to tune it once again for aim down sight and aim idle stability. With the Frenzy barrel, we're going to tune for recoil steadiness and ADS speed just to make this gun feel absolutely wonderful as we are smacking our enemies. With the Ole V with sprint to fire and ADS speed again to keep that maximum snap while we're running a 45 round mag, and the FLT 22 rear grip, which is our sprint to fire ADS grip, which we are going to tune for recoil steadiness and sprint to fire just to maximize all of our stats to the best of our ability. Between these two assault rifles, you should be able to get absolutely everything done in a single game with the assault rifles, and probably your melee kills too, and if you're lucky, your execution. Now for what a lot of people are probably thinking is the hardest part of this challenge, and that being the battle rifle long shot kills. I've got two setups here. I know this one's a little daunting for some people, but this is set up as a sniper. Just spam your 20 rounds. Don't worry about dying. Try to get 2 kills per life. You'll be wonderful. Starting off with the SA leveler, we're going to throw it on there, use its stats. However, we're going to tune for aim idle stability and aim down sight speed. That way we're getting it as snappy as we can, and it's not wiggling all over the place when we're not holding our breath. Again, we're going to throw on the Olay V, but this time we're going to tune for sprint to fire and aim idle stability because we are using this like a sniper and we don't want it wiggling around when we're not holding our breath. I chose the DS Farsight on this. However, you could use the Drexum Prime, like I said earlier. It's up to you what optic you use. However, this is a great option. With any optic, it's going to be ADS speed and far. These are your tunings. And once again, I grabbed that rear grip with the aim stability and flinch resistance because I'm treating this like a sniper. I tuned for recoil steadiness and aim idle stability to round out maximizing our stats. And I did forget, we've got a foregrip on this one. We're going to use the Edge 47, tuning it just like we're in DMZ for maximum recoil stabilization and aim idle stability to make this thing feel wonderful. In multiplayer, this gun feels a lot like the Tempest Torrent or the EBR in DMZ. However, if you're trying to go full auto, pull out the Cronin Squall because it's still amazing within multiplayer. Slap the sack and tread on it, and you're going to tune that for your full recoil control and stabilization just to make sure you have maximum recoil control on this gun. From there, we're going to throw on the lock grip to get even more recoil control, and we're going to throw up hip recoil control because this does affect while you're aiming down sights. I don't know why it says hip because it affects all recoil control, but we're not going to throw up hip fire accuracy. We're going to use the aim down sight speed to make it more snappy. We're going to throw the 30 round mag on it. There's no need for the 50. You're just going to slow yourself down. This is another gun that's got that magical phantom grip on it, and we're going to tune it for recoil steadiness and aim idle stability. That way we can fully get this gun controllable while keeping it snappy, and we're going to finish off by running the aim op 4 with aim down sight speed and far for our tuning. This is going to be your easy option. However, if you want a more sniper feel to doing this, I would use the Lockman 762. And I did tell you when we were going over the Carrick build, I did have another sniper for you if you don't have the Carrick leveled yet, and that would be the SPX. This SPX setup is phenomenal. Again, I have the Drexum Prime on here because I have that special one from the Cyber Riot 3 bundle. If you don't have it, you can run the Schlager Night View, you can run the Schlager 3.4, you can run the DS Farsight. There's so many optics you can run. Whatever feels best for you, run that op. Let's run through tuning. Starting with the 16-inch ZLR Executioner barrel, we're going to do recoil steadiness and aim down sight speed so we can make it snappy and we can get our second shot lined up as fast as possible, just in case we miss. Then we're going to throw the Schlager Pec Box 4 on it so we don't have a visible laser and we can max out our sprint to fire and ADS speeds. Whichever optic you do go with, once again, it's aim down sight speed and a far eye position because this is going to make the gun feel the best while you're using it. We're going to throw the Schlager Match Grip rear grip on this gun and tune for recoil steadiness and aim idle stability so we can get our shots lined up as perfect as possible before holding our breath and our follow-up shots on target. Lastly, we're going to throw the ST87 bolt in it so we can get that second shot off as fast as possible if we miss the first one, because this is multiplayer. If you miss the first one, you're in trouble. And I went with the RPG as my launcher. You can use the Strela, but I find it gets a lot of hit markers, so the RPG is going to have more splash damage. So unless you're trying to snipe with a Strela, use the RPG. And that's going to cover the Shadow Company versus Task Force 141 event. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below. And if you've watched this entire video, maybe you should hit that subscribe button, and you should definitely slap that like button. GG, boys.